Hello and welcome to this lesson on the 7th degree triad. Now that name sounds like some mysterious organization or cult, but really what we're talking about is the chord, the triad that's built off of the leading tone of a diatonic scale. So for C major, B would be the leading tone, and we're talking about the chord that's built off of that. Now right now we're only interested in the major mode, because in the minor mode, we're only interested in where the leading tone is a half step below the tonic. So in the case of C major, B is a half step below C. However, in C minor, the 7th degree is B flat, and you'll see why that's important. Now it is true we can alter the scale to be a harmonic or melodic minor mode, but because that's a deviation from the naturally occurring key signature, we're going to focus on major for the sake of simplicity for this lesson. Now, when we build a triad, basically all we're doing is we're taking the root note, or the scale degree, as the base, the root note, and then we're building a third on top of that, and a third on top of that, using whatever notes naturally occur in the scale. So if we're building it off of the tonic, C, a third up from that is E, because that's the third in the scale, and then a third up from that is G. So we find patterns across the board where the tonic, subdominant, and dominant triads are always major. The supertonic, the 2, the mediant, the 3, as well as the submediant, which is the 6, are always minor because of the scale degrees that occur when we're picking out our thirds. And so as a refresher, a major chord is a major third on the bottom with a minor third on top, and the minor triad is the reverse, where we have a minor third on the bottom. What's interesting about the leading tone triad is that it is not major or minor, but it is diminished because we have 2 minor thirds. So in the key of C major, B gives us B, D, and F. Now the harmonic function that this usually serves is as a substitute for the dominant 7. So in the key of C, G7, it contains B, D, and F. So taking away the G gives us that B diminished chord, and that's the function that it usually serves, is an authentic cadence, or a form of it. With that in mind, there are a couple of words of caution in using it effectively. First of all, using it in root position usually leads to an awkward sounding progression, and so we usually use the first or second inversions of the chord. Another thing to keep in mind, if we're using the leading tone as part of another chord, for instance, as the 3 of 5, so G major containing B as the mediant of 5, we wouldn't double the B in the bass. So when we double notes, we have to take caution as to which notes we double. It is acceptable, and the same goes if we're actually using the leading tone triad. The B diminished chord, we wouldn't double B in the bass. Depending on the function we serve, we might use G to emphasize that it is the dominant 7, or something else, or the D, for instance. But one exception of this is if it's part of the mediant chord, because the mediant is E minor in the case of C, and so B would be the dominant of the mediant, and so we can double that. So hopefully this has helped. Of course, it always depends on context whether or not we can bend the rules, but see if this works for you.